Pascal,
Yes.
what's going on, man?
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
I'm very good, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling us. I was checking you out earlier. You're awesome, dude.
Thank you.
3-time Grammy nominated. It said, right?
Yeah, that's a crazy story because actually I worked on this project during my first 2 weeks in the US, actually. So yeah, I contributed to this Grammy nomination, and I also got shortlisted for a Latin Grammy 2 years ago with some Cuban people.
Wow. And it said too you worked with Joe Budden and Heavy D.
Yeah. So basically, my first 2 weeks in LA, I got introduced to Heavy D, and we did some music together, and this is what we placed to Anthony Hamilton, basically. And Joe Budden, I worked with a French artist called Matthew Stone. He is the #1 R&B artist in France, and he basically the song we did, he featured Joe Budden on it. That's it.
Wow. Yeah. No, he's one of my favorite rappers, dude. He's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
Yep.
It said too you were trained in classical and jazz piano, correct?
Oh yeah. I started. I started my career as a teacher. I was teaching classical and jazz piano in 2 conservatories in France.
Cool. And do you play any other instruments?
Not. I mean, I play the drums a little bit, but no, piano is my thing. And I was spending like 10 hours a day practicing for quite some time. So that's my thing.
Wow.
What, cello, you said?
Piano.
Piano.
no,
I don't know why.
piano.
I don't even know if a cello is a instrument.
It is, yes.
I actually did listen to some of your piano stuff. It was really good. I liked it a lot.
Ah, nice.
Now, who is your favorite artist that you've worked with?
So this is. I think you're gonna find my answer interesting because it's probably not people that you know.
Okay.
Because basically I've been exposed to a lot of very different things, and I would say the most interesting artists I worked with were probably the ones I met when I was in Cuba. I was in Cuba 10 years ago. I was completely into Latin music, salsa music, and I went to Cuba with my mentor at the time, and that was the best experience of my life, basically, because Cuba is another planet, first of all, and the musicians are so good, and the artists are so soulful over there that it's hard for me to compare to anything I've ever done, the rest of my career so far. So that was my best experience.
Nice.
Cool.
What have you dealt with anybody that was like a real pain in the ass to work with, like somebody who you'll never even work with them again?
Probably us.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, it's not. Fortunately, it doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
But it does happen, and I'm not gonna give you names, but funny enough, it's some of them are like actually in the pop music world, very big, known songwriters and stuff like that. Well, they have quite some ego issues, so it's pretty annoying. Yep.
I saw that too. That your passion is Cuban music, correct?
Yeah. In my early 20s, that's what I was doing. Yeah.
That's cool. And is that where you first studied, or did you get into that later?
Well, I started basically I'm from the countryside in France. So when I was a kid, I was just making music for fun. I had a teacher, but nothing serious. But then he thought, I had some gift for it. So he sent me to a classical music school, and basically in 2 years, like 16 to 18 years old, I studied classical piano, but I also got my graduation very quickly because I was doing fast. And actually, a year later, I became a teacher in the same school, which was a very, very funny situation.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's what I did. So I come from. It's not that I can say I come from classical music because I didn't do it for a long amount of time, but I went through it though. I did it though. So,
did anybody resent you for for your advancement that fast?
Does anybody did what?
Did anybody resent you for how quickly you moved up?
Resign? I'm not sure I understand what means resign.
Like, did anybody like not respect
Jealous-
you
jealous
jealousy?
or-
Yeah, because of
yeah,
how
angry
quickly
about
you
Oh,
excelled.
well, you know, like there's always people who are like, oh, how comes you get it so fast, or how comes they put you in that class so fast? Well, you know, like I didn't care. I never cared. You know, I just want to go ahead and do stuff. So I don't really care much about what other people are saying or doing, or you know what they think.
Yeah.
As long as I go ahead, I like it. You know?
Do it for yourself, exactly. That's awesome.
Did you ever imagine it getting to this point that like this is going to take off as a career for you?
Well, yeah, I think so, because when I was a kid, I was playing Lego, and I always said that I wanted to play Lego all my life.
Right.
But I found a way to play Lego. Like, actually, music is kind of another kind of Lego game, another one. It's like very close to me. So I just switched over to music, and I was like, okay, maybe it's not good to play Lego at 22 years old, but maybe it's cool to make music, so maybe I can make music. You know?
Yeah. Slim still plays with Legos
Yes.
and Ninja Turtles, and so do I.
Yeah, it's so cool.
That is cool, though, dude. I like hearing that.
Yeah.
What are you most proud of in your career? Is it the Cuban music or?
I think the thing I'm the most proud of is probably the amount of studying I did, because that's the thing, you know. I basically, if you look around, it's hard to find other producers who are able to one day work with like typical Cuban artists, the next day do some real deep soul stuff, the next day gonna mix a song for Rostrum Records, #1 hip-hop label in the country, and the next day make pop. It's just that I have a deep understanding of music in general, just because I studied like probably not many people.
Yeah, I saw you had like a really wide like diversity of
Yeah.
genres.
Exactly.
That's cool. What is the Rise? Is that a company that you work for or that you founded?
Yeah, no, it's something I founded with a buddy of mine, Josiah Rosen. So basically, what we mainly do with that is that we help independent artists, singers who need their songs to be produced, or who wants to do songs. Basically, they come to us, and basically they come with nothing, and they leave with everything done. And that's what we do, you know. So either, you know, we make songs for big known artists, either we meet with independent artists who need our services, and not only we make the songs, but I hang with pretty cool people, and you know, they can make quite some life-changing contacts, basically.
That's cool. And are you in the States now, or are you still overseas?
No, I live in Los Angeles. I've been living in Los Angeles for 6 years now.
Cool. How was that to adjust to from living in France? Was it a big adjustment?
Well, you know, it's the way I moved to the U.S. is a movie. To be honest with you, the quick story is that I've always been very good at networking, and I ended up being introduced to a famous actress. I met her in Paris. And basically, her and her husband, they were like, let me see what we can do for you in Hollywood. So I was like, all right, okay. And so that's how I moved, because thanks to them, they introduced me to huge people in the music business. So I moved thanks to them. And my first month, that's it, the first 2 weeks, the 2 projects I worked on got like 3 Grammy nominations and over 10 million records sold. I met Justin Timberlake 3 times. I met Timberland. I played my music to Justin. I met Diane Warren. I was like, oh my God, this is nuts. So,
awesome.
You know, that's it. That's it. You know, the move was pretty smooth, I guess, you know?
Yeah, good, smooth transition. And I saw, too, that said you started doing it out of your apartment. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, yeah.
It's like a studio in your own place. That's cool.
Oh, yeah, but And honestly, that's still what I do. You know, I do everything at my place in Hollywood. I don't have a regular studio or whatever. You know, it's all about knowing the equipment and knowing your rules, and that's all it takes. You know.
Cool.
What was it like the first time, like, one of the things you produced became, like, #1 somewhere? Was that, like, really a big deal for you, or?
Yeah, actually, that was, I think the first one, the first one was the one in Hungary. Well, yeah, I mean, it's cool, but, you know, I didn't have a #1, like, worldwide yet, so you're always looking for that, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know, after some years, you kind of like, whatever, you're like, okay, that's cool, but, you know, what's next, basically. And, you know, I like to evolve very quickly, so I've been trying to think outside of the box for quite a while now. So placing songs to big artists or getting #1, stuff like that, I'm not really worried or like really fighting to get that anymore. I'm kind of like over it a little bit. So I'm thinking a bit differently now. So that's it.
On your YouTube, that video where you made, did you actually make that beat for Jay-Z?
Oh, yeah, actually. So I think I'm not sure if he heard it. I'm not completely sure, but, you know, I had a little story with him. Basically, you know, I received an offer and we started to negotiate, and I ended up deciding not to do it. But I'm not sure if he heard it, but that would still be a good one for him, I guess.
It was great. I really enjoyed it. I almost listened to it more than once. I was doing show prep, but yeah, it was awesome. I didn't know if you had actually sold that to him or if you were just making it in his style.
I wish. I'm pretty sure he would sound good on it.
Yeah.
You know? But well, you know, since I didn't sign to their publishing company and stuff, it kind of froze my relationship with that team, you know, a little bit. So it's okay, whatever, you know.
Yeah. Have you ever been offered something that you've turned down?
Well, yeah. Well, that was a good example. And tons of them, actually.
Well, yeah.
Tons of them.
Wow.
Tons of them. The first one was actually with some Dr. Dre people. I didn't do it. I got a lot of management offers that I didn't do. Publishing deals I didn't do. And yeah, quite a lot.
Wow.
Anything do you regret all that, or?
Actually, no, because when I look back at these different teams, none of them are doing well, you know, and no producer became a star by signing with these people. So no, and I like to be free, you know.
Yeah, I like that.
Everything is moving so fast nowadays that for me it's extremely important to be completely independent and to be able to build with the people you want. The problem is, like, you know, any big artist signed, or like people like me who get signed and suddenly stuck in a deal and they want to get out and there's no way it takes years. I don't like that at all, you know.
Yeah, I like that you stuck true to yourself too. It seems like.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
And I was thinking too, like, just about our personal, you know, project and a couple of our buddies. Like, it just seems so hard nowadays because it's so easy to get your stuff out to the entire world, but because everyone's doing that, you're kind of like a needle in a haystack. Like, it's very hard, and it's cool that you've done so much.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like you've started at exactly the right time for what you do, or?
Well, no, I wish I was there maybe 20 years earlier, or like, you know, 15 years earlier, because when I started, that was the beginning of the end, kind of, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And I like that you actually play an instrument too, because so much is just digital nowadays, and
yeah. Oh yeah.
I was wondering, have you? Go on.
Yeah. Tell me.
I was gonna ask, have you ever dealt with any lawsuits? Like, has anyone ever claimed like something you produced was similar to something they produced, and then try to go after you for it?
No, because first of all, I don't use samples, or it's like insanely rare.
Yeah.
But I pretty much never use samples, so nothing like that. And then I guess, you know, I don't know. Well, if you really look, I'm sure you can find pieces of songs that look like another one, like every single day, all the time. You know.
I think so.
I never dealt with that. No, nothing.
That's good. What is your website again, Pascal? Is it PascalGuyon.com?
Well, yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Cool, I thought so. Yeah, I was looking. There was so much stuff I found on you. It was very impressive.
Well, there is definitely more surprises to come. Some really nice ones. A little bit outside of the box.
Cool.
So it's just the beginning for me.
Awesome. That's great to hear.
So
Yep.
do you think it's always going to be producing music for you, or have you contemplated doing other things?
Basically, I told you I like evolution. So I became a stock trader 5 years ago.
Okay.
Wow.
I trained with some companies in New York. I had a lot of mentors, and this is still something I'm working on to get as good as I can. So that's one thing. I also got involved with some hedge funds actually because they knew that I knew a lot of people. And I was trading, so they approached me to try to help them to raise funds. And we were involved with the Twitter IPO and Airbnb and that kind of stuff. So I left the company for personal reasons, but I'm definitely looking for doing more stuff on that level. And I'm being involved with a few startups that are trying to build the future of music as well. And they are actually built by high-level tech people who have incredible track records. So this is very, very good information and contacts for independent singers, artists who are trying to find a new way to make their business. Because basically, they're teaching artists to really run their business, and that's key right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to plug, Pascal?
Well, that's it. You gave my website. Thank you for that. So, yeah, as you said, if people want to know more, they can just Google and just find everything.
Yeah, there's a lot out there. Thank you so much for calling us.
Well, thank you for the invitation.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you very much, guys.
You're welcome.
All right, take
Have a
care,
great
man.
night.
All right, have a good night. Thank you very
too.
much.
You're welcome.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. He was awesome.
He was really cool.
Even though Pete, I don't know why you wanted to ask this, but
I was waiting.
it wasn't even that bad. I just wanted Pete to ask if he wore fancy pants because he sounded like a fancy pants. He was a cool dude, though.
He was cool.
Very cool. And like I said, when he asked what our show was about, and I said we're really sophomoric at times, and he's like, "I'll give you guys a call." He was cool, man. He was awesome.